Hello walkers, and welcome back to City Walks. I'm curious if you will recognize the walk we're doing today. We did do it a little over a year ago, different season, in the heat of summer, and that sign may sort of give it away a little bit. But it's changed a little bit, so we're gonna see it in a different light, so to speak. This is a public access road, and we're going to do a nature walk here, but on either side for the first couple miles is private land. So you actually have to park out on the main road, which is fine, but we're going to see we're going to get some really nice nature views today. I'm going to spin you around because I like to introduce myself. My name is Henry. I will be your proxy walker today, your virtual travel guide, your co-discoverer, and I'm going to spin you around again. And here at City Walks, we make these treadmill exercise videos, these walking videos, and I sort of point out fun things that we can see, beautiful views, and share a little bit about where we're walking, and hopefully that'll help your treadmill walk or your rowing or your exercise bike or whatever you're doing go by a little faster, and maybe also give you a little virtual travel here, maybe just a little bit relaxing morning. It is a Sunday morning. It's about 10 o'clock. And it's 37 degrees Celsius, which I think is 37 degrees Fahrenheit, sorry, which is 3 or 4 degrees Celsius. And it's the end of November. Beautiful day, barely any breeze. And it's a nature walk, so I'm just gonna try to talk a little bit less here than I would in a city walk, but I will be pointing out things that I find beautiful or intriguing. We're actually going to head up this little valley over there, and I'm going to give you a little, point out some different areas. This is Jackson Creek Road, and that is, you head over that way towards Bridger Canyon and Bridger Bowl ski area. Here you're facing kind of west, pretty much west, and then if we keep going, the rocky outcrop is Frog Rock, and it's right above I-90, which goes between Bozeman and Livingston. And over here is a subdivision of very fancy homes and some beautiful views. I think it's called Bridger View or maybe something like that. But we're going to head pretty much east here, and we're going to make our way up that canyon, as I said. I want to thank our Patreon supporters. I set the level. I have one level. I set it really low so that because I don't really offer anything in return above and beyond these walks, and I just appreciate the support, and it really does keep me motivated and energized and excited to do these. I've also added a coffee or co-fi, which allows you to do a one-time contribution, which is also appreciated. And there's also a PayPal link. So if any of those inspire you to share or support the channel a little bit beyond your likes and comments, I appreciate it. Also, check out the citywalksvirtualtours.com website. I've created that so that you can search and find various walks by location and walk time. Also, the posts there have a little extra information often about the various walks. We got a car coming. As I mentioned, this is a public easement or right-of-way through private land until you get up into the national forest area, and it's very narrow, and especially in the winter, the snow piles up on the sides here, and so they ask folks to park out by the main road so that residents can get through. There is a car parked, and it looks like this car might also park up there. But I chose not to because, well, why risk it? Plus, so beautiful. I kind of like this open, grassy area. There is a barn up here that's pretty cool. It's an old one. Been around forever, it feels like. And I'm not sure if we'll get a good view of the cows or not. I think they might be Red Angus. You guys will have to let me know if you know your cows. Looks like, I don't know if you're familiar with agriculture or not. Many of you are, but this is a sprinkler system. And I'm going to swing you back here. Back about midway is this little white box. That's kind of the motor and pump, and it rotates and spins and can irrigate this whole field kind of automatically. There is something extraordinarily nice about getting out in the morning, especially on a nice calm day like this. Oh, look at this. I got an extra treat for you guys coming up here. You'll have to hold on. It's just the sunlight in the morning. It just says something to the brain chemicals in my head, at least. Brings a little joy, a little energy, a little clarity, a little motivation. It's pretty nice. You can see this little path here as well, because some kids out for a walk here. It's a walking path. Thought about walking on that, but I believe it is on private property, and I don't think they really mind, but it might be, maybe it is public, I don't know. Whisper Ridge Ranch, I guess is what the subdivision off to the right is called. Comes a dog. I like this sign as well. So, because this gets really snowy and it's hard to park, a lot of people like to ski up here. And so they've got a sign sort of pointing out where to ski. Oh no, come on now. There are some alpacas, which I thought they were going to come over and see us. But I think the dog up ahead might be giving them a little fright. About 4 of them. Off to the left, you can see the snow along the ridge of the Bridgers. And Bridger Bowl is off to the right, to the north, a little bit further. Can't quite see it from here. Also off to the left here, kind of in that valley. Yeah, I think you can see the hotel, but and I'm forgetting what it's called, but there is a bed and breakfast type place, and they have rescued wolves in a big, very large impoundment. Not like a zoo, but more like a animal rescue. And you can go spend the night up there and see the wolves. Looks like they've turned the soil over here, or maybe they brought in, I think they've turned it. Not sure what they farm over there. Here's this barn I was talking about. It's more of a shed than a barn. I'm gonna go to the left here though. I'm gonna show you the cows I was talking about. Curious guys. Oh, I love that low morning winter light. Anyway, I think this is, or was made for storing and drying crops, or maybe hay, back in the olden times. You can see the alpacas coming out again. Curious guys. I'm gonna pause for a minute. All right, I'm back. I just wanted to give this little family a little time to ease on up ahead, so they didn't feel like they were being filmed on their morning walk. Hope you can hear that crow. Sometimes I just enjoy stopping and listening. It's amazing how loud our world is, and also to me how much you can notice just stopping and listening to the soundscape around you, picking out individual sounds. It's a nice way to be present, nice way to be observant of the world. It's kind of enjoyable. Cottonwood trees have lost their leaves. Seems like a poem in the making. This sunlight, without a breeze, is sort of warming things up pretty quickly here. It's kind of nice. Oh, it smells nice too. I think these willows, they harbor a little moisture. And there's a creek bottom over here to the left, a drainage ditch off to the right. Here you can see it's pretty deep too. Anyway, get that sweet smell of cottonwoods and creek bottom and willow. Maybe up here we're going to get into some, looks like some spruce and Douglas fir. And then I can see some sagebrush up on the hillside there. I think that's what this would be if it weren't grazed and farmed. If you've never smelled sagebrush, it's like it's a tangier version of the sage you would cook with. And it can be very redolent, I don't know, really strong odor, scent. It's really nice. Especially after summer rain. This little family has a dog, which is, great. But I would normally expect to see maybe some deer or something on these hillsides, and maybe they're just not around this morning. It is hunting season, or maybe they see the dog from way off and take a pass. Okay, so the green trees over to the left at the very base are actually juniper trees. And I think that might be the case over here, the little ones. I think that's what those are. I'm going to unplug my headphones here, so I might jiggle the camera a little bit. Oop. Sorry, I'll try and take that out. Something about kids and throwing rocks in water. Too much fun. There's a nice little ambiance over here. I'm gonna take you over to see the creek. I've walked up Seuss Creek several times on this channel, which is outside of Livingston, and there's a place up there where we take our little kids and let them do the same. Throw rocks in the creek, throw sticks in the creek, just experience the world in motion. Super fun. Let's see if I can get past these folks. Oh, they're not gonna cooperate. Morning. So they have turned this soil, you can see it, big deep furrows in there. And I believe they do that because it helps aerate the soil, helps let water get in there, and also it turns over the stuff on top, puts it underneath, and lets it not rot, but I don't know, feed the soil as it's sort of a compost. You can see another sign here talking about how it's private land and to stay on the road. Across a cattle grate here. Before we get too far up this hill, I'm going to spin you around to see where we were coming from. A little elevation here to see it. A little downy woodpecker flew in that tree. I think that's what it is. Here's some more of that sagebrush up close, and wow, the scent of a forest is wonderful. Oh, it smells good. I think mainly the creek and the sort of cycles of growth and decay coming up from down there. The light. Oh, I think I was wrong about the juniper. So I believe, we got a car coming. Well, I don't want to get in too much trouble here because I'm speaking about tree identification, but I believe these trees with the limbs that sort of angle upwards, I believe are spruce, but I could be totally wrong about that. Totally unsure of myself right now. There's a couple ways to identify these tree species. These days they use ways with a phone app, but you can look at the needles, and they come in different species, have different bunches, so some will have 3 or 5 or whatnot, and then the needles themselves may be square or triangular. And of course you can look at the bark, and also the cones that they throw off tend to be distinctive. There's a species to the west. Oh, I'm gonna mess it up, but they have these giant cones. Like, it's just huge, like 12 inches long or 10 inches long. If you know what species that is, or a species that might be, let me know in the comments. I'm curious, and I will forget to look it up. It's a little shaded glen area. Looks like there might be a little frost down there. These big old trees. I love it. Let's take a look at this sage real quick. It's faded now, but you can see, I think, those leaves have 3 kind of blurbs on the end. And, oh, it smells delightful. It smells like the prairie. So that's, the name of the species, I believe, is Artemisia tridentata, and I think the trident is from those 3 little teeth, quote unquote. Oh, look at that. Rock split down the middle. I'm laughing at myself because imagining someone saying, oh yeah, I was watching this thing on YouTube, and he showed us a rock. It was great. This granddaddy of a tree, grandmother. I guess plants have male and female. A lot of them anyway. Oh, little squirrel. The road ahead. I may have commented on this before, but in Livingston, the town I live in, we don't have a lot of squirrels. There's one park that there's 2 or 3 squirrels that live in there, but you don't see a lot of them out here, even in the woods. You hear them. A lot of times they'll chirr at you angrily for interrupting their peace and quiet. Chipmunks, see a lot of chipmunks. Oh. I believe that was a squirrel. See a lot of hoof prints from And of course manure from horses that have been up here. Little cabin up there in the trees. Pardon me. I just feel like this little canyon in here would be ideal for a beaver family to set up shop. And I'm gonna do a little bit of a perambulation pontification, I guess another one. Something I do every so often about where I kind of give my own view on things. And this one's gonna be beavers. I don't think it's the first time I've done it, but I just read an article about somewhere in Scotland, I believe, and they've introduced a small family of European beavers, and they've built a dam, and it's like they're getting and torn down like some old trees that were overlooking the stream, which sounds like not the greatest thing, but it's opened it up and created wildlife habitat for other birds. Oh, I want to show you something too. And other animals. There's a dead snag there, and it looks hollow on the inside. Here comes a truck. And I just can't help but think critters might use that. Owls or other animals. So the beavers. And one of the things that it's done is reduced local flooding. And it's becoming, I was talking to a biologist from the American Prairie Organization. And I've talked about them in the past, they're up in central Montana. And he was saying that more and more farmers and ranchers and landowners and nonprofits are trying to reintroduce beavers and or create what he called beaver dam analogs, which are sort of human approximation of a beaver dam. Because what that does is it reduces flooding, it banks water for the future, for the rest of the season, or a big chunk of the season, just slows down the progress of all that water, those water molecules down through the system. It just slows everything down, which means it's then available for animals and plants and all sorts of fun stuff. So, I don't know. There's also this theory that the extirpation of the beaver in the 1700s, 1617, early 1800s from North America changed the environment in terms of the amount of moisture available And if you think about it, if all of a sudden the amount, you're a plant, and all of a sudden, instead of having a little bit of moisture in August and September, you've got none, all of a sudden your chances of survival, or for you as a species, is much smaller in that little area. And only the drought-tolerant species will survive there. And so it has a potential to really alter the landscape in more ways than just a few ponds and some more willow. Much as they think the reintroduction of wolves into Yellowstone has changed the landscape there, the physical landscape, by changing the behavior of and population of elk and bison. I don't know, pretty cool stuff to me. Love the sound of that creek. Another mountain meadow here. Pardon my sniffles. Ah, smells good. One of the things I enjoy about these forests, these mature forests, is the big trees crowd out a lot of the understory often, and you can get kind of open and park-like under there. And I don't know, it's just nice and pleasant. All right, we're coming up to the actual Forest Service boundary, which is nice. You see a couple cars parked up here. And well off the road, it looks like, which is very courteous and considerate of others. Always applaud that. And, yeah. Well, I guess vice versa, we're entering private land. Again, maybe we're on a bit of public. Yeah, so look at this area here. It's kind of a flat area. Maybe there used to be beavers in here, I don't know, but maybe it's just the flood cycle, but all those willows, beavers would love it. They could flood this area, store a ton of water for the rest of the year, and it keeps flowing. It just, the flood water, the melt off, gets stored up. And all sorts of other fish and amphibians and birds and insects and all that whole pyramid or web gets to take root and thrive. Got another private land sign here. Part of one anyway. Oh, this is just beautiful. I think I'm gonna end it here because it's been a good 40 minutes or so. And I wanna thank you guys for, I guess we'll go up around the corner, for joining me on this walk. And I hope you'll come back and join us for others. Check out the website. If you like these walks, if you want some more, you know, we've been down to Central America, up to Alaska, over to Europe and a bunch of places over there, a bunch of places all throughout the United States, and there really is something for everybody. Caveat being, I do talk, so I've gotten some comments. I get a few comments every once in a while saying, oh, just be quiet. And, you know, that's fair enough. I usually try to suggest some other walking channels in which they don't talk, and that's fine. But that's talking is what I do. I enjoy it, and this channel is as much for me as it is for you. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for allowing me to share this with you guys, and I will see you again soon. And as always, until then, keep on stepping.